Hello and happy Monday. Welcome back to our live. If you are joining us for the first time, Tay and I created this space to have candid conversations about our everyday experiences. If you would like to be the first to know about our lives and join them when they start, you can visit us on Facebook at Tay and Rena Live. And you can also visit us on YouTube at QTNA Live. I am one of your hosts, Miss Serina Renee, and Tavia will be joining me here shortly. Hey, Hair Magic Bay on Instagram. Okay, I got you on Instagram. Where you at on Facebook? Yeah, yeah.
Yay!
There you are. Hey,
Hey,
Tay.
hi guys. I don't know if my AirPods are connected to Instagram or to Facebook right now, but I'm here. Um, hello. Say something, Serena.
Something, Serena.
Wait, again.
Something, Serena.
Oh, they're connected to Facebook. Okay, guys.
It's
Let me see. So hey guys, hey everybody. How's your day going, Rena?
going good. It's been a little long. I've been sitting in front of Zoom calls for the past couple days, but we here. Heard some great information, and this is the perfect way to end my day. We got 29 minutes. How was your day?
How was my day? I will for just 1 second, I was no audio on Facebook and YouTube, whatever. My day's going good. It was actually been a really good day. Like all kind of good things happened. I got extra wings at the wing stop. Okay. I passed
I'm
my,
done.
something weird was happening, and the guy was just like, "Hey, something weird's happening with your car, but I'm gonna pass you anyways." And I was like, "All right."
Yay.
So yeah, I'm
That's
gonna go
good.
car serviced, but those three extra wings, I want to give a big shout out to a few people. Okay, first, Ty Kira for telling me that there is a wing stop that is local to me. If you haven't been to Wingstop, like go there. Second, to Serena, who told me about some secret menu recipes, had me ordering off the menu hot lemon pepper wings. And third, to the man in the do rag who gave me 3 extra wings because I had a little wait. And I think everyone's doing great over there.
I
So,
cannot believe you just now finding out about Wingstop.
well, I heard about it when it was in the news that Rick Ross was investing in it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that, but I thought it was just like a Florida thing. And then Takira was like, oh, there's one at such and such spot. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try it.
I cannot.
It's good.
I cannot. I cannot.
Those
Well, I'm glad
those
you.
fries is salty though.
Nah, it's that shake they put on there. They put that lemon pepper little seasoning on there. It's
On the
pretty good.
fries?
Yeah, it's a seasoning they putting on there. Uh huh.
Well,
Little shake.
the day has gotten better.
Because of
The day is
Wingstop.
Yeah, I mean, it's the small things, you can't, every day is not like a millionaire win. But if you can just get some good lemon pepper wings, then I feel like you're doing life right.
I
Hello,
cannot.
everybody over on Facebook. Hello. Um, Gervais says, hey, y'all. Oh, yep, I heard about that. I just now seeing her comments. You gotta go. When you come out here, you gotta
I'm
go.
done.
You like how I called you Gervais?
Yeah.
She said, hi, Ace Boogie. And she put a little
Who
dog
said that?
emoji. There you go. So you can see it
Oh,
too.
listen, Ace. I'm not dealing with Ace today. Ace made me upset today. So he been in timeout a lot. This is his first time being out right now, and he better be lucky that I'm letting him out right now.
Girl, I
Go
used
check
to I
my
used to tell
stories.
Prince.
Go ahead.
I used to tell Prince, go to your room. And he
No,
would go
for
sit in the
real.
corner. He would go sit in the corner because he like if he had pooped. And I'd be get so mad, say, oh, go to your room. And he would go sit in the corner. And then or like if he pooped and you didn't know, but you looked over and he was sitting in the corner, then you'd be like, where'd you poop at? Those dogs are
Listen,
so smart.
listen. Don't be telling me don't put him in timeout. You would put him in timeout if you seen what he did today. Go check my stories. He chewed on my wall, and it's a whole little spot on my wall that he done chewed in. And I realized it's. I think he was mad because I wouldn't take him out, but he has to learn. that there's a time and place for everything. I can't jump every time you want to come out and play. You went to go pee, you have food. I need a second to get ready because I had training this morning. And I wasn't even in the shower for a long time, you know? And this dude chewed a whole, how can you chew a wall? Would you like to see? I can only go look on my Instagram. I was about to go take my phone over there, but I can't. I'm on two devices. Go check my Instagram stories and see the hole that he put in my wall. So
I can't wait to look because I have not been on Instagram because right, Miss Shelly. Right.
Listen.
Miss Shelly said, Tay, she getting a taste.
Getting a taste of what?
A little sample of motherhood. Okay. They will put Vaseline and marker on it though.
No, I get that, but children don't chew holes in the wall. I can deal with the rest of that stuff.
You wait.
Patching the whole
wait,
wall.
I'm sorry. You think that children don't chew holes in walls?
Listen, I ain't came across no children that chew no holes in no walls.
They do it.
Human teeth can't get through a wall the way that he did.
They chew through everything.
Not no wall, not drywall.
I may or may not know a child who chewed through my blinds. I don't know.
I'm talking about blinds. I'm talking about drywall.
They chew through wall. That's how they be getting lead poisoning. They be chewing on the.
At 10 weeks.
They chew on the rim of the windowsill. Listen, not my kids, but kids do.
Bet he won't.
Yeah. Okay. Say it now. Okay. Anyways.
Listen, I ain't messing with him.
Look. She want the mom brain. You better take the chewed walls with it. Let's get into these headlines. Okay. Hi, honey bunny. Love you. Hi, grandma.
Oh, hi, grandma.
Yes. So the headlines this week are, I did a lot of research, y'all. A lot of research, which is why I have not seen Serina's chewed up walls, because it has been the drama. If you know anything about me, if you watch this show long enough, that you know I can't handle the drama too much. Like I can't do it too much. I'm not on social media as much as, I guess the average. I just can't, because it's just too much for me. But this week I was like all in the news. And so let me tell you guys what's going on. So I'm gonna put this in order of like, I don't know, interestingness. All right, first, I want you guys to expect millions of cicadas in the eastern U.S. Cicadas. What are those cicadas? Those are those giant buzzing bugs that you see every few years or so, you think. Well, apparently cicadas burrow themselves under the ground for 13 to 17 years. And then come up for mating season only and die. And then they burrow back under the ground about a foot under, where they eat and live off of tree sap from roots. So, said cicadas have been hibernating since 2004 and are expected to be seen in the following states in the spring, which is actually now. So, give you a few weeks and you shall see them. Or shall I say, hear them. The following states are...
Oh, you're putting a visual in my ears. Right? I'm sorry. I'm hearing the sounds.
Delaware, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, as well as Washington, D.C. Cicadas.
No, not locusts, cicadas. Let me tell you about these damn cicadas. I have an Ingram in my mind that would just never go away from an experience that we had when we were little. Actually, I had two experiences. So my pops is from he's from Cincinnati. And Cincinnati, Ohio is one of them places that get these cicadas that come out the ground every 13 years. And when I tell you, it's like you're walking, they're swarming through the air to the point. Y'all ever seen like fogs where you can't see? It's like a fog of cicadas, and the sound that they make, it's like their wings are so...
let me tell you, Serina.
Oh my God.
You're concerned about the fogs. Well, the record is saying there will be millions of cicadas, the most that there has ever been in history. Happy 2021. Serina?
If y'all are in Ohio, wherever these places, these states that she mentioned, y'all need to go get food and water and prepare to stay in your house. I'm so serious. It's traumatizing, and they're huge. They got these big old eyes.
These are the red-eyed ones.
Girl,
Not commonly seen.
I will never forget, one of them ended up in the house on my mom's shoulder. I'm like, Mom, don't move. And of course, she moved all over the place, screaming and hollering. Then we had a second incident where we were driving in the car. It was nice and quiet, peaceful, grandma in the car, everything. All of a sudden, boom, we heard something so loud on the car. And I'm like, did we hit an animal? And it was blood everywhere. And I kid you not, I was like, we had to hit an animal. It was a cicada. Half of its body was in the back of the window. We had to pull over to clean the car off. It was horrible. So, good luck to y'all in these states. I'm so glad they don't come down here in South Florida. I think it's too hot for them. But when they come out the ground, I want y'all to Google. I'm going to mess y'all whole day up. Go, when we get done with this live, go and Google cicadas and make sure the sound is on.
Okay, I want to tell you guys that I Googled cicadas for this information, and it is spelled CICADAS because I had no idea, and I definitely spelled it with an S and a Q. So when you do Google that, you're welcome. Thank you for that insight, Serina. What's next up in the news is Lil Nas X. Have you heard?
No, what happened?
Well, Lil Nas X.
Oh, what he said about his lyrics?
Girl.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Serina. Lil Nas X has teamed up with Nike to create what has been called the Satan shoe.
With the blood at the bottom of the shoe?
Let me tell you that Nike says they have nothing to do with this, but I will explain to you that this is a real thing, okay? So, Nike Air Max 97s have been taken, not stolen, just purchased in some way, taken, and they've been decorated using art with the art collective called MSCHF in New York City. Okay, Lil Nas X's Satan shoes contain 1 drop of human blood. Okay, a Nike, a bronze pentagon, and that's that little star thing that the witches use with the circle that you'll see in Charmed, and also an inverted cross. The 1 drop of human blood is inside of the shoe, where the little bubble is, okay, and is included with 2.03 fluid ounces of red ink as well. So people are outraged. The senator even reached out on Twitter and said, "This is outrageous. Our kids," and they're concerned. And let me tell you, it goes on. 666 pairs.
I saw that.
Will be individually numbered and sold. They're being sold for $1,018, going off of Luke 10:18 that reads, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." Now, once you go into it, it doesn't really seem as spooky and scary. And they were launched today, March 29th, and sold out in 1 whole minute. Now, Nike says they had nothing to do with it, but then Lil Nas X posted an apology hilariously. And we know that Lil Nas X came out as gay last year sometime. And he posted an apology video, and it says, "I heard people have been talking about it." And then it cuts to his music video of him doing some type of Cater to You, Beyonce, Destiny Child situation on a chair dance on top of Satan, where he breaks Satan's neck and puts Satan's horns on his head. And I'm going to turn off my newscaster voice and say, he said that a lot of people have made him feel really bad about himself in his teen years for being gay and for being who he is. And he said, if you guys feel bad about this song, then this is how I felt for all those years, making me feel this way, that I was, wrong. But when you say that, it says, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." And so then I'm thinking, I don't know if that's like, if it was, you know what I mean? He has a new song out, and I listened to the song and saw the music video, and I was like, dang, I like the song.
Terrible.
I was like, dang, this is a good song. I mean, it wasn't like worship. It didn't sound like, "Oh, Satan." It wasn't like that. It was just a song. But it had like some suggestive stuff in the music video. He was like real like on some, he was just like giving Satan a lap dance essentially. And there were some other things. If you watch the whole video, I don't know, it really didn't seem that bad anymore after I watched it. But like, of course, the headline sounded like, "Oh, a Satan shoe with blood in it," and they don't like explain the rest of the details. So I could be missing something because I don't know anything about Satan worshiping or pentagons or anything like that. Or pentagrams. I said pentagons. So I could be missing some type of like devil thing. But I don't know. Wow. Okay, so now you've heard. Next in the news. World's sexiest bald guy alive. Have you heard who that went to?
Mm-mm.
Well, Serena, that went to Prince William.
Who's that?
Okay, so you know Prince William, Kate's husband, the balding prince. You know Prince Harry and Meghan.
Yeah. And
Prince William is Prince Harry's brother.
I was about to say before that I ain't know none of the rest of them.
You've seen him before. He's like a tall, slim, brown hair. Okay, well, yeah, Prince William was voted the sexiest man alive, and the list goes, the top 5 were Prince William, then it was Mike Tyson, Jason Statham, which is the
Wait, what? Mike Tyson. Who's coming up? Where did these surveys go out to?
Okay, Jason Statham. I think Jason Statham is a good looker. Okay, he's the transporter. You saw the movie, all the series, The Transporter, and he's always like,
yes,
girl, yes,
and
I think he looks good. But then it goes on to say Pitbull.
Pitbull should have been up a little higher than definitely before Mike. I was about to say Mike Larry. Get it together, Serena. Before
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Oh my gosh. And then Pitbull, then Michael Jordan was number 5. And then some other honorable mentions were The Rock, who was landed number 9, which I'm like, The Rock was number 9.
I don't know what they talking about. He should have been top 3.
Top. And then Bruce Willis, which I love Bruce Willis. I know he's not like the sexiest man alive, but any movie with Bruce Willis, I'm here for it. I love him. Jared will tell me, "Oh, boo, a new Bruce Willis movie came out." I'm like, let's watch. Yeah. I love watching anything with Bruce Willis. Not because I think he's like attractive. I like he goes like that. He does like that rock snarl. He's just really good, right? It's believable. Then it's Vin Diesel and newly bald, at least to me, John Travolta. Have you seen John Travolta bald?
Mm-mm. Girl, don't be paying attention to none of these people. I barely know what I looked like yesterday.
Lord. Okay. Now my newscaster voice is giving me a headache. I hope it didn't give any of you guys a headache. My last thing to say for the headlines before we get into the topic is studies show, according to a study at Planet Fitness, women are preferring dad bods.
What does that mean? A dad body?
Yeah, a dad bod. 7 out of 10 women think that the dad bod is attractive, according to a recent Planet Fitness study. Not only did female responders say that a dad bod is sexy, they also said it's an indicator of confidence and happiness, 2 traits that are definitely appealing.
What the hell is a dad bod?
You know a dad bod?
You got a picture? What do a dad body look like? Because I don't want nobody. I don't like
a little
fleshy.
A little fleshy.
Is that a nice way of saying like got some weight on them or something?
No, not quite. Yeah, but not
belly or something. No,
like
muscles.
It's like they might have had muscles, but then they became a dad. Like they're just like. Yeah.
Okay, you can feel it underneath, but it got a little meat on it.
Well, the videos they show wasn't full. Like you couldn't. Yeah, it's under there somewhere.
She put no muscles fat.
like they said they don't want washboard abs. It's like they got a tummy, but it might not be like a beer belly.
Okay,
it's just.
I got you on that. Cause maybe. Cause sometimes when it's too perfect, it's like, bruh, this is uncomfortable.
Not for me, girl. I am not uncomfortable, boo.
I cannot. I don't know. Not beer belly. I don't want that.
Yeah, it's not quite. It's not beer. I don't think it's beer
like
belly.
in between.
It's just
beer belly.
You know how it's like how you see a lot of big girls who are big, but their stomach is flat, but it's not sucked in flat, so their stomach is still like
they got a little pudge, but the shape there.
But it's flat. But how is it? That's right. That always. I used to always want a stomach like that when I was a kid. I don't know why, but it wasn't poking out. It was flat, but it was a little chubby, but it was still flat.
Yeah.
How? I don't know. I don't know how people have bodies like that, but that's the dad bod if you're a guy.
Sorry, y'all.
So, okay. So our topic was, we didn't even say the topic, which is crazy because we're 20 minutes in.
Well, I was just about to say that.
Thank y'all for staying along this long and not even knowing the topic because y'all here for the headlines, I know. So we were going to talk about, does the government think we're not paying attention since it's not an election year? Like, are we paying attention in between like big national election years? I don't know. Are y'all paying attention?
Because there's some shadiness going on in Georgia.
Right. So shout out to my sister-in-law for recommending this to us. Yes, girl. She texted me some details and means the best. So what's going on in Georgia? Pretty much okay. Let's start off. No, let's just go on. Let's just tell them, right? Let's just tell them what's happening in Georgia.
Yes.
All right. So they're limiting, they put in a bill, the governor's put in a bill that limits voting when they're saying it's more protective. Oh yeah, it's happening in Texas too, Miss Shelley. That they're protecting voting because protecting it against mass voter fraud, which hasn't happened.
Exactly.
It's not happening. And their studies been showing studies have shown that's not happening. So I watched both more conservative news channels and more liberal news channels to kind of see what's going on and read some articles and then dug into the history and found all this craziness. So here's this is what they're saying just at the surface right now. They're limiting voting by mail. They're limiting hours to when you can cast a ballot. They're limiting the hours. They want to have monitoring at the ballot, not the ballot box, but how you could just go in and drop it in that little ballot mailbox thingy. They want to have a person there, hey, I don't know what's the person going to do, but I don't know, maybe to see if you're dropping 20 things off, which apparently hasn't been happening. Reducing the hours of early voting, and they're requiring ID to vote, where you might have to send in a picture of your driver's license, as well as that you have to prove your disability if you're disabled. They want you to prove that you're disabled with a doctor's note, which is a HIPAA violation already. So did you see anything else that they were doing?
I did read in one that they were saying how, I know in Georgia, how they were saying they wanted you to provide ID, some type of register ID, but they were there's a huge percentage of Georgia that don't even have identification. And if you don't have the identification, they want you to bring in some type of utility bill, all of this extra stuff, which basically what it boils down to is just trying to make it harder for people to get out and vote because they see the power of our votes. I think this is it's a great place to really see. I remember we were talking about this before the election about how powerful our votes are. They were upset at the turnout that just happened. What did it say? 88% of the votes from Georgia or something were from Black people or people of color or something like that. There was a percentage up there. So basically they're doing all of these things to try to prevent our people from being able to go out and vote, which is ridiculous. But I mean, of course it's not anything new that they haven't tried to do before, which I didn't like until you sent me that other article earlier.
Well, the other article is the one I really got crazy and dug deep into. So I was like, well, I've always wondered this. I know they ever say oh, you shouldn't require people to have a license or ID. And I always wonder, I was like, okay, kind of went with it, but kind of was like, okay, you shouldn't require them. And they just said the reason, because a lot of Black and Latinx people or Latinx people don't have like identification. And they're saying, and I was like, well, like I'm trying to put myself like, well, why wouldn't you have identification? They said, well, if you live in a city where a lot of minorities do live in cities, then you might not need to drive. And if you don't need to drive, you don't need your driver's license. And then say you're a student and then you say all you have is your student ID. So, but you don't drive and you're in the city and you have a student ID. And then, so that means you can need a state ID, but what do you need a state ID for? Mm-hmm. No one has, like in my daily life, people do not ask me for my ID, right? So unless I get pulled over driving the car or I'm buying alcohol.
Right.
So why would you go get money, $35 or $50, how much it costs to get a state ID if you don't even need a state ID? Mm-hmm. Or they also said that maybe there's a percentage of Black and Latinx people who have like their license revoked. They had it, but they got revoked and it was due to fines. Because if you're poor and then you get a fine, maybe you can't pay the fine. Mm-hmm. So maybe you can't pay your car note, so you don't have a car anymore, and then you don't have an ID, but you don't need an ID anymore because you're taking the bus or you're taking the subway or whatever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so when you limit these voting laws, I mean, when you require a driver's license, then these people are not able to vote. And if they can't vote, we know that they're more likely, poor people and minority people are more likely to vote Democrat. Mm-hmm. And so they're saying these happen to be in Republican-led states. So I was like,
not with you. I was looking at a comment. Bare Body Butter said we all need to get an ID so that we can vote if that's what it's going to take. I don't think, I'm not in the business of being forced into doing things that I don't have to do. That's something that is my right. It's my right to vote. I shouldn't have to do all of these extra things that you guys are trying to implement into the system because you're upset about how this election went out. I feel like that's just us. That's another form of submission. Like we shouldn't have to keep being so submissive to these higher powers in order to it's like they want us to just fall in line. No, like that's not right. It's not fair. We need to fight for that right to be able to vote like we're supposed to vote. Instead of just laying down and saying, okay, well, they said we got to do this, let's do that. Like, no, I'm not with that.
When you think about the ID situation, we want to also highlight that IDs cost money. And so if you want to feed your kids or you got to pay a bill to keep your lights on, maybe you don't want to spend the money on the ID. But here's the other thing. The guy that I'm watching the news, a news with the governor of Georgia, he said, we'll give you IDs free. Okay. So what about the time that now I have to take off of work because the DMV is open during the times I'm at work?
Yep.
And so maybe I don't work a full-time job. Maybe I work a part-time job where I don't get PTO. Maybe I own my own business, so I don't get PTO in my own business. Yep. And so now I have to lose money. So who's going to pay for the money that I'm losing to go get the ID?
Right.
So there's that, and it's something, and it's saying, true. Would you refrain from getting an ID if this is made to law? Says Bare Body Butter. I don't think it's people are refraining. It's not that you're refraining to get an ID. It's the inability to get an ID, or maybe you can't afford it, or you don't have the time. Like I said, I know this probably came in after I said that. I mean, before I said that, but I don't think you're like, I don't say everybody, but I don't think most people are boycotting IDs or something.
And then on top of that, you have to factor in the process of going to get the ID. If you got all of these people, first of all, every DMV in every state that's tuning in with us right now is always packed. Period. That's just what regular, everyday, need a tag for the car, need a license, whatever it is. And it's not only car stuff that you know what I'm saying, that you go to the DMV to get things done. So now that you're forcing all these extra people to come to the DMV, there's only going to be a certain amount of people that they can service in a day, which means that, just like you said earlier, these people are going to have to take off during a certain amount of time, miss work, and maybe not even possibly even get in. And then have to come back the next day just to do it all over again. So it's not about just, refraining from getting an ID or taking the time, that these are all trickle effects. It's adding an extra step that you have to take to be able to go vote.
Yeah.
Voting regular is already difficult enough.
Right. So I'm trying to present both sides here. So the Republican Georgian governor, which his name is escaping me right now, was saying that Joe Biden is saying we're limiting things, but that the same issues, they had the same thing in Delaware, which I didn't double check into, but he also said people in these cities need to be concerned, why are they waiting in long lines to vote? You shouldn't have to do that. He said, so we've opened on 2 Saturdays a month and a Sunday a month, that you can also vote on those days. But he forgot to tell us that he limited the times that you can vote in different counties. So maybe he limited times that you can vote. So what I'm saying is that they showed an example of a county that had 200 residents and a county that had like 2 million residents, and they have the same window of time to vote.
Right.
So it's been shortened in that larger county.
Right.
And they're saying a lot of these are pointed to counties that are historically minority.
Of course they are.
Minority majority counties. So there's an issue there. So then I'm thinking, how are they able to do this craziness? This is out of pocket, and no one is doing anything. And so this is the first article I sent you that I spent so much time reading from The Guardian, and it's because of the Voters Act law. That was Voter Rights Act. The Voters Rights Act is this whole act, and I guess a piece of it was overturned in 2013. I don't know if overturn is the right word, but pretty much the Voters Rights Act said that any state who's been known to historically discriminate against people and create voter suppression had to go through the federal government to get their laws checked before they got put through. And it was repealed in 2013. And so, of course, Georgia is one of those states. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Florida. I'm sure Mississippi. I know North Carolina. Any trend here? Texas. Mm-hmm. Hearing anything? Alabama. Mm-hmm. All of those southern states who I mean, let's not pretend all the states didn't participate in slavery. But those Jim Crow laws, and Biden called them, this is worse than Jim Crow. He said it's Jim Eagle. That's what he called it. It's legal. I mean, another legal way to do to cause voter suppression. And we're like, are y'all hearing this? They're saying you can no longer bring water bottles to voters in line. It's a felony.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And the response to that from the governor was, well, that's when he said they need to be asking themselves, why are they waiting in these long lines?
What do you mean? I'm so confused.
Because the line's so long that you now need someone to bring you a water bottle.
Exactly. So what is it? They don't have enough help. Y'all don't got enough I was getting ready to call them ballots, not ballots, the little machines that you go and do. What is it? That's a great question. Why is it taking so long?
Well, I guess it really depends on I was with them then. I was with them when he said that. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I was like, I don't want to be waiting in a long line. Right. No one likes lines.
Has our president said anything about this yet?
He said it was ridiculous. He said this Jim Eagle. That's what he said.
That was his response.
Yeah, he was like, this is ridiculous. So let me tell you guys some common things that were in the Voting Rights Act that these states are taking advantage of and have been taking advantage of since 2013. In fact, over 1,000 polling facilities have closed since the overturn of this act. So, like I said, polling place closures, voter ID laws, proof of citizenship. You have to have different ways to prove that you're an actual citizen. So do you have your, I guess, birth certificate with you? You gotta have your social security card. So they want your ID, of course. And so you have to present all these things, I guess, to, I mean, like, people don't always have all that stuff.
Right. Right.
And I bet you they're gonna say they want the original copies or something like
Of
that.
course.
Like, my God. So these are the common things that they're saying are happening, and they're continuing to happen. They've been happening since 2013. I know that we sound like a conspiracy podcast or something, but this is really getting old. It's really getting old.
That's unfortunate.
And I reached out to my friends that who are like big into politics to ask them, like, what do we tell people to do? And it's like, I said, so I kept reading and I was like, I don't really know what to do. And it was saying that the Congress can like fix this. But the Democrats put in like, hey, let's present it, let's do this. And the Republicans said, no, we don't want to do that. And they're apparently still trying to figure it out since 2013, what they want to do. And it's like, nobody wants to work. I was just having a conversation with my neighbor about this. Nobody wants to work across party lines. So I don't know what's supposed to get done. Like, what is supposed to get done? Even like with immigration, they said nothing has been really done in Congress with immigration for like the past 30 years because no one is like wants to work together. And so now we have just a mess.
That kind of sucks because I feel like regardless of you being a Republican or a Democrat, we both still live in the same country. We both still share the same space. So it's like, I feel like you guys can be separate, but know when to come together for the greater good or the big picture. You know what I'm saying? What's going to benefit us as a whole, instead of saying, well, us over here, we stand strong with how we feel, and these ones over here stay strong at how we feel. Those are two bullheads just knocking at each other all day.
No one's getting anywhere.
We're not getting anywhere. I feel like that's the true way that the whole and that this thing should be ran in general. Have your different points of views and be different parties, but know when it's time to come together. You know what I'm saying? For the greater, and honestly, I honestly feel like that is going to be something that we're going to see moving forward in the future with
Turn your head this
generation.
Way.
Who, me?
Yep. When you talk the other way, I can hear you way better. Keep going.
Really? I feel like once like I feel like with our generation, as we get older, because we're seeing things a little bit different. Once we start getting in those positions, I feel like that may shift a little bit. Only because even look at everything that we've been dealing with over the last few years, you know, even using like Black Lives Matter as a thing. That used to be a battle that we were fighting on our own. But these young folks, you see them out in front of the whole crowd. It didn't matter if they was white, black, Indian, Spanish, whatever. They all came from different parts of the world, but it was a bigger issue that we were fighting, so we stuck together. So I feel like when we start getting that type of energy in those positions, that's when maybe those things will start to change. Because before that, we had such of a division between us as a people. This is the first time that we've seen unity, and it really has been with our generation and younger, really these little ones, the younger ones.
Yeah. So, I feel like we always hope that it's the younger generation is going to be better. And I think our parents been saying the same thing. And then you like turn on the TV and you see young people marching with tiki torches. Like, and then you're just like.
But I mean, think about it. It has gotten better. Every generation to me has gotten better. Like, think about it. Like, we wouldn't be able to be where we are if we didn't have our parents that came before us and saw the fight that they were fighting. And then we came behind and we kind of picked up where they left off and learned a little bit more and then came a little bit stronger. So I feel like it's happening, but it's happening in a different way than I guess we expected. But I feel like the timing is the biggest thing. And the time that we're in right now, we've never been in this time. But the same goes for our parents. Like the time that they were in, that had never happened before. But there's certain things that have to happen first before other things can take place, if that makes sense.
I understand, but I feel like that's been the excuse of America, not the whole country. I guess the people who don't want growth, right? Because I was just at the DMV actually, and I saw a man with a shirt on that said, "The United States of America, love it or leave it." And I kept thinking, if you love something, you want it to grow, you want it to be better, you want to nurture it. You
Absolutely.
know, you stay when you love
That's
something,
right.
right? And I think that that so many people are like, oh well, we're better than we were last year, or we better than we were 10 years ago. But it's like, when things are so bad, better than last year,
It's not good. I get
yeah,
what you're
it's
saying.
like, well, you know what, now you can, like, well, now at least they're letting you vote. You got to jump through 12 hoops to do it,
Yeah.
but you can. So if you really want to do it,
Right.
then you'll
Right.
do this. Do you know that in Australia they have mandatory voting? Like, you have to vote or you'll get a $50 fine.
I love
Not much
that.
money.
But so
Not that
what?
much money. I mean, but enough for you to be like, I don't want you to take my
Right.
$50. And people go and vote. They're trying to encourage people to vote.
And we're trying to discourage people to, ain't that some shit?
And I've heard that Australia has issues with like colorism, and like, I don't know the details of Australia, so I'm not going to speak on it, just from the few people I follow who are in Australia. But that I've heard that they have race issues too. That's all
I
I'm
feel
saying.
like
They have race
everybody
issues too.
does. I feel
Yeah, and
like
they're
everybody
saying,
does.
and they're trying to get people to vote. The entire continent / country of Australia. They say that you will get fined if you don't vote. And I'm not saying that we need to tell people they have to get fined if they don't vote. I'm just trying to make a point where to say that, like, why you're making it hard for people to vote,
Right.
and saying that there's been widespread voter fraud. And I'm watching Fox News, I'm watching NBC, ABC, I'm watching CNN, I'm reading the Guardian, I'm going trying to get all these different sources, so I'm not coming from like a biased perspective. And like, both sides are saying there's no proof of, they both said there's no proof of widespread
Right.
voters fraud.
So
And
basically,
then, but one side will say, but I don't know if the election was rigged. I don't know. And this is one of the guys who actually got elected during the election said, I don't know if it was rigged. It's that thing where they used to say, I don't know if global warming is real. I'm not a scientist. But it's like, why the scientists just told you that global warming is real, but I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. That's like your doctor tells you have high blood pressure, and then you said, I'm not a doctor, I don't know if I have high blood pressure. He's like, I just did it. I just told you. You hear all the metrics. This is how it is. You have high blood pressure. No, I don't know. Like, what? I just told, like, like the experts are telling you. So that's totally different. But I think it's just so saddening that that instead of trying to do better for these different communities, and given, like, I would say most Black people in America are not immigrants, right? That they were never immigrants, that they were stolen and dropped here, right? So you take people, you drop them here, and then you consider them Americans and all this stuff, and you want to fight, and then you saying, oh, you hate immigrants, but what you're trying to do is just lump all people of color into some box that you feel is comfortable, and then you don't want to do anything for those people or listen to what they're saying. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, when does it get old to you? Or how are people justifying these things to themselves, where I just don't understand? Like, just let people vote. If that's the thing, if I understand that if you can't vote, if you tell people they can't vote, then you don't have to appeal to their needs. Like, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand why it's like, this is crazy. Like, I was reading this stuff like, what?
Mm-hmm. So what can we do? Like, I know that there's like certain people that are like fighting this right now. Only thing I
can think of is to write to your congressman and like, or call your congressman, because I have heard like, I listen to like these history podcasts and things, but they were talking about some vote I can't remember what it was, but it's a vote. And the congressman of this party, whichever party, doesn't matter, we're on one side. And then they said, we started getting calls from our constituents, and now we're on this side. Like people who are actually voting, who voted for them, donated to their campaign or whatever, and just make your voice heard. But that's like my best advice, because the only thing I see is that they're saying that as Congress has to vote on it and the Senate has to vote on it and all this stuff. So I'm like, well, I guess we got to talk to those people. Like,
yeah,
I'm just like, I mean, I'm not one of the people who would like, I have a driver's license, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about people who might not have a driver's license,
right.
or like, why do you need a driver's license if you never drive anywhere? Like,
Right.
You don't own a car, you don't want to own a car, and you never drive. I don't know. It's just
prayers going out to Texas and Georgia and anyone else that may be facing this voter suppression that's going on right now, because that's exactly what it is. And write to your Congress. I mean, I feel like in another state you really can't do anything, because I can't write to my congressman and I can't write to yours because I don't physically live in your state. But I guess bringing more awareness about these things, still continuing to have these conversations so that people are aware of what's going on, so that they can try to fight in whatever way you can figure out how to, is the best advice that we can give, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're not experts on this, but just, if this you found this interesting, or you were like wondering what's going on, I think it's worth a Google.
Yeah,
Google the Voters' Right Act and Voters' Rights Act. Look into what's happening in Georgia and Texas, and even read about North Carolina, where they tried to put through a bill that was voter suppression. Of course, it didn't say the voter suppression bill, but they tried to put through a bill and it was denied. It was denied, and it literally said, because it said it was like, this was literally to disenfranchise, to suppress votes from minority people. It literally said that, like they told them that. And so this Voters Act, I don't even think I feel like I didn't tell you. The Voters Act law made it so those states had to get double checked. I think I said that.
Yeah.
So now there's no double checking. So they can put through a law that suppresses voters. And that it's just put through. Like,
happens, right.
It just signed. I don't know. I was like, did this bill go through? I'm over here reading, like, let me refresh on how a bill works. Maybe it didn't go through. Maybe he's just proposing it. I'm like, this went through.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't even know what to say, girl. It's crazy.
I know.
I think it's beautiful that so many Black people and people of color are in Atlanta, supporting each other and making it happen outside of the government, I guess, like starting their own businesses, doing their own thing, supporting each other. Because that's going to make it sound bad. And we also still have to pay attention to what's going on with the government, with our politicians, with the laws, when it's not an election year. So, things don't get taken away. The stuff that you worked hard for can get, a vote comes through. You can't vote for some reason, and now, your business is getting taxed more, or you're excluded for something. They can just do anything right under your nose. So you're building and building and building, and stuff can get knocked down. And so let's pay attention, even when it's not a election year, y'all.
Yes. Because those are the little levels at which we can make a lot of change.
Yeah.
Making sure that you're paying attention to what's going on locally and voting locally when things like that are going on. Like, well, not like that, because that has to pass through Congress. But,
Well, I did read that this is a big thing that the governor of Georgia did, which is still considered, I guess, your local-ish. But counties have been making rules too. Like, they can make their own rules. Counties and cities all make their own rules. So, pay attention to who you're electing, and like, if they have the same ideals as you, see how they feel about voting. Like, do you think I need to have an ID to vote? They say yes, or they say no, then you make your decision on who you'd like to vote for. I just think everyone should have the right to vote. That's all.
Yeah, period.
That's all. I mean, if you're a citizen, obviously you should vote.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, I think we'll beat it.
We beat it. I think we did.
We got that.
I can't really hear you well over on Instagram, but I'm sure you're coming through fine on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh boy, you still can't hear me?
I can hear you, just I feel like I'm yelling and you're whispering, that's all.
Oh, sorry guys.
It's
all right,
okay.
Well, before we go, I just wanted to give you guys like a little I guess preview of what we are planning for next week. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. And we're going to have a little chat about a topic that I have been seeing. I've been seeing a lot of things like circulating on Instagram as far as hairstylists and black hair. Okay. And the main meme that keeps popping up is bring back the stylists who actually care about taking care of your hair, because all these girls know how to do is lay lace. Okay. So we're going to have a conversation just about hair care in general in the salon and what's happening with black hair care in the salon. I was discussing with Tavia, and I think you guys, since the whole like Black Lives Matter thing has happened, we've seen a huge change across many industries, and the hair industry has been one that has been like up there as far as like topics to discuss. But I really wanted to have a conversation with you guys and be able to connect with you guys from a consumer and professional level. So bring your questions. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a real conversation. Tavia is going to help me out with this. We're going to have a nice little back and forth conversation, and I think it's going to be really fun. So next week, that's what we'll be talking about. I'm going to figure out some questions and whatnot to post throughout the week to try to get like some engagement, and you guys tell me what you want to talk about. And this is a safe space. So I want you to come and be honest and open about how you feel. And we're going to go from there. But I will be posting more information about that, and I can't wait to connect with you guys on that topic.
Yeah, this should be fun. I'm excited. I love to hear dig deep into Serina's brain. These conversations that we have on here are pretty much conversations we have as girlfriends anyway. So this is going to be exciting.
I'm excited.
And thank you guys for joining in. We don't usually get too political. We don't usually get too political on here, but hey, today it's in the news, and it's just like, let's just not, let's just be nice, folks. Let's just be considerate and put yourself in other people's shoes and consider just, equality and equity among all people.
Yes.
Because, that's what you want. Your little, you want your little brown grandchild to vote one day too, don't you? No. You want your brown grandchild to vote. You want your, I want my grandchildren to vote. I want your grandchildren to vote. I don't care what you look like. I think you should have your choice, whoever you're voting for. You should have the choice to do so. And it shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to jump through, 20 hoops to get to put your vote in, even if it's not the same vote as mine. And so, and I that's what I believe in. And I think that's what you believe in too, right, Serina?
Yes.
So, yeah, guys, be nice to each other, love each other this week. And we'll see you guys next week. Gervais Full of Grace says, yeah, I can't wait. So she's excited for the hair talk next week. I have some questions myself. And so it's going to be nice to get some free advice from Serina.
Did you say free advice?
I said it. I want a free consultation. Oh, also, hair by Designs of Composure. I didn't use as much moisturizer as I usually do because it's usually a lot more stretched. But I had to go to the DMV, so I had to take my twist out. So I don't got as much hang time I usually have because it wasn't dry. But I want to tell you guys, if you guys are shopping with Designs of Composure with highly textured. Designs of Composure is Serina.
Salon.
It's the salon. If you're shopping with highly textured, you guys should try out the leave-in conditioner. I don't know if it has an official name. It probably does. Yes. It's in a blue bottle. Yes. And it's that stuff. Buy the big bottle because if you have hair like mine, I mean, you can buy the big bottle if you want. But if you have hair like mine, Serina told me that I want to use a lot more. So I've been using like 1 pump per like twist. So if I did like 8 twists in my head, I use 1 pump, which is like, I need that big bottle. But it has moisture and hold. I didn't know it was gonna have hold. I wasn't even using it for that. I was just like, let me put some moisturizer in because that's what they said they're supposed to do. Put a little squirt in. I did my job, but I put a lot in, and I've been getting some hold. Like I don't know what's gonna happen this week, but I've been going. It's looked like a twist out for a whole week. That's moisturized. I slept on it with no bonnet because I lost my bonnet. It's still lost. I flattened it. What'd you say?
I said you still ain't found your bonnet.
I still haven't found my bonnet. But I told you I was using that slap cap my mom bought.
Oh, okay.
Silk lined cap. And so it smushed my hair down, and still every morning it's not a mess. It's not just like a smashed, like, dare I say, nappy mess. It's been stretched the whole time, which has been really impressive to me. So if you guys if you guys are looking for a new leave-in conditioner or a moisturizer, then you guys should shop with Highly Textured. And if you're already with Highly Textured, using that shampoo and conditioner, because it's bomb. Because I use the shampoo and conditioner, but I'm out of conditioner, which is probably why it's also not as stretched out as usual, because I had to use a cheap conditioner because that's what I had on hand. But if you're already doing the shampoo and conditioner, you might as well just add to the system.
Yes, ma'am.
And get you some of that leave-in conditioner. So
yes,
I wanted to say that before.
Yes, ma'am. Did a fresh wash today. Y'all see that definition? I don't put no gel on my hair.
It's the definition for me, right? I mean, for me, I really like my hair texture. I have like 2 or 3. And it works for all of them, which is crazy.
For all of them. Most people have about 3. This is perfect. This is like a pre-intro to the conversation, because we've already that quick talked about leave-in conditioners and moisturizers and having 3 different textures in your hair and things like that. So this is like kind of like a prelude to what we're doing next week. So I'm excited to hear this type of conversation.
Yes, I will. Yes, we'll go in like deeper, but I have been Serina's test subject, as well as I do purchase my products. Okay.
Yes,
with my money, my hard-earned money. And I'm telling y'all, these products are not cheap, but I'm willing to purchase them because they work. And Serina knows that I'm like, I will budget I will budget. But people say, oh, I splurge sometimes. I don't. But with my hair, it just saved me so much time. That's what matters to me.
Right.
That's what matters to me. It don't take this long to wash my hair, and it lasts longer. That's all I need in life, okay? Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to get me. If I wouldn't have Highly Textured products, I was gonna have to get dreads because it was gonna be too much. So pretty much the front of my hair is like a looser curl, and the back of my hair is a tighter curl, and it works for all of it. And so this is the Highly Textured commercial that is just super impromptu and a surprise to Serina, I'm sure. But I just really want you guys to try it if you're looking for something. If you're not looking for anything just yet, hold off, because I want y'all to finish y'all products, because y'all be having all these products in the cabinet just piling up and expiring, and all these plastic containers.
And ain't none of y'all check the expiration date on the back. And all your cosmetic products have an Listen, this is going to be a nice live, y'all. I don't know. Y'all might have to go get y'all pen and paper, okay? Because we're going to be going over a few things. Y'all need to throw away half of the stuff underneath y'all's counter because it's been there for too long.
Yes, y'all. So my
products, go ahead.
My kids don't have the same texture hair as me. They have a looser texture. So all those products that don't work for me, I've been using them.
Have you tried it on them?
I'm not wasting my expensive products on their little curl light skin heads.
You ain't wasting it. You ain't right. You gonna say you wasting it on the children. They work.
They don't need it. Their hair is not like my hair. First off, they got this much hair.
Don't try my babies like that. Talking about they don't.
No, I love my kids' hair is like very kind of easy to deal with. Not having that much hair is easy to deal with, so they don't need any like expert products. I have tried the shampoo and I use the leave-in on Jared's hair, and his hair, I don't know. I feel like I have to let it dry. He always puts a hat on right after I put it.
You about to get in trouble.
Uh-oh.
I'm listening. to everything you said.
Yeah, it works. It works in Jared's hair. But and my husband, he does wash his hair with my shampoo and conditioner. But again, his hair is not like my hair. So again, boo, you don't need my good products.
I'm done.
He can use any old cheap product.
No,
you know why?
No. Men have to have a routine as well. I get on my men clients about that all the time. We think just because they men that they not supposed to be using good products too. No, they need to take care and tame themselves as well.
He got this much hair. He don't need my product.
Much of his hair need to be moisturized. Okay.
Don't look, look. I swear to you, nobody believes me. Any moment of the day, he cannot wash his hair for 5 weeks. He can take a comb and go right through it like, shoot, nothing. No problems. No problems. Okay? Don't touch my conditioner. I need that slip for my detangling.
Poor Jared.
All right, y'all. I love you all, and I think you guys are great, and I love my kids. I don't care what color their skin is. I don't care what texture their hair is. I just don't come for me.
Girl, they be all right.
Y'all know what I'm saying.
We will be back next week, and we're going to tackle this topic. We're going to talk about this hair, okay? Love you guys. See you.
Yeah, if you didn't hear her, she said we'll be back next week. Bye, guys.
Oh, sorry. See ya.